Back here on Radio Row, it's Unnecessary Roughness, Raider Nation Radio 920. I've got the great Dianna Russini from The Athletic with us. And how are you doing?
I feel like we do this every year.
Just about. I think we missed a year. So
really?
I think we got to catch up.
You know what's funny is there's so many people that want you to be a guest because everyone's filling content, and I say no a lot. I don't have the ability to say no to you. I don't know what it is.
We have a good chemistry.
We do. And
yes.
you always ask in such a way that I'm like, it is my duty to come on this show, so I'm here.
Well, I do appreciate you, and as you said, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of content. Of course, in the Raiders, it's always something, and this week it's been Maxx Crosby. You talked about it and talked about Maxx may necessarily want to be a Raider. What are your thoughts? What are you hearing?
Yeah, I think it got a little out of control.
Okay.
I was on a Boston show talking about leadership and guys that the New England Patriots would be interested in the offseason. That would make sense, right? Guys like A.J. Brown and Maxx Crosby. And I have had conversations in the past with Maxx about Mike Vrabel as a head coach and what he's like. Mm-hmm. And they have a chemistry. They have a friendship and a relationship outside of football.
Right.
And in terms of, like, if you had to build the perfect coach, he's close to being that.
Right.
And somehow that got taken as, like, he's calling the Patriots, like, I want to play for you. And the reason why everyone's freaking out is because everyone knows what's going on right now, which is Maxx isn't happy.
Right.
I think that's pretty clear that the way this season went and how the ending of it went down with him being pretty frustrated with how they handled him and handled his injury and handled his playing. Look, it's been 7 years.
Right.
6 coaches, including an interim.
Yeah.
At what point is this organization going to say, yes, you're important, but you deserve to be part of something for yourself, for what you've given us.
Right.
You need to go work on your legacy. Be here Super Bowl weekend with the team because it's going to be a minute before we can get there.
Right.
And I think that's what we're all sensing and feeling and all the conversations we're having around football. Everyone's just wondering, are the Raiders really going to be willing to have a conversation with Maxx and say, yeah, you can go find somebody to play with.
And I think that they would if he came to them and said that.
I agree.
Because he's done everything, like you said, he's done everything the right way. He's given everything.
But think about how hard that is for Vegas to give up on.
Exactly.
You are literally giving up what every team needs in their locker room.
Right.
He is the example of how to do it. But, maybe ownership here will look at the situation as a whole and be like, maybe we need to do right by this player because he's given so much and we have failed him. So I think the next few weeks we're going to learn a lot more about where these things stand. Because, look, we could wake up one day and it could be an Instagram post from him going Raider for life again, right? Where he's decided after talking to to this new regime, like, you know what, maybe I want to be around Fernando Mendoza if we go in that direction. So we'll see where it is. It's just it's actually unfortunate because it's hard to picture him in a different uniform, right?
It really is. He's the heart and soul of the Raiders. He really is. Like you said, he's what every team wants in their locker room. And again, Dianna Russini is with us here at Raider Nation Radio 920. How much do you think that the ownership now, and with Tom Brady being more heavily involved, how does that change just kind of the dynamic of even the organization in general?
Yeah, I think it changes everything. I remember when Tom Brady became a minority owner officially, I wrote a piece that Tom Brady is running the Raiders, and everyone went nuts.
Right.
Like, what?
Yeah.
How could that be?
Yeah.
When has Tom Brady ever done anything kind of half in, half out?
Right.
Now, look, I know physically he's not in the building every day. He's in Florida a lot. He's broadcasting. But he's in constant contact with that organization. Mm-hmm. And I think it's just going to – I actually think the organization is going to improve the better Brady gets as an owner as he figures out this space. Because I do think we gave him a little too much leeway, a little too much credit that he would be an amazing owner out of the gate because he's won at such a high level and he's worked and played under such a good owner. But that's not always the case. There's so much to it. And I've had this conversation with owners around the league about Brady. It just – you need a little time to figure it out, and I think he's doing that. And I think he's made some mistakes already, and he's missed on a lot of coaches. But I think the fact that it could be in his hands fully with his blessing on all these things, this thing can go in the right direction.
Clint Kubiak can't be official, obviously, until after the Super Bowl. But what do you think about that
I love
hire?
It. Yeah. Love it. I'm so excited for that. Because, look, the Raiders have missed out on some on some good offensive-minded head coaches. So the fact that they got a really young guy that's been around winning programs, because that's what's been missing in Vegas.
Right.
There's no program.
Right.
And when you think of that word program, you do think college, but look at the teams that are successful that, were either in the playoffs or playing this weekend. You know what they are.
Yeah.
And there's a standard there. And I think Kubiak's going to bring that because he doesn't know anything else.
Right.
He doesn't know any other way because of the people that he's been around.
Yeah, and look, I think everyone's excited about Kubiak because of everything he's going to bring to the table. One quick question. Jim Schwartz resigned in Cleveland.
Yes.
Is there a possibility, or you think there's a possibility he can land in Vegas?
I think Jim Schwartz is going to have endless opportunity. In fact, I know he has endless opportunity.
Yep.
So we'll see how this works and if the Haslam's will let him out of his contract because he resigned.
He resigned, yeah.
But he's under contract, right?
Exactly.
So he's just not going to show up.
Right.
So I absolutely think that there will be conversations. And what a pickup that would be.
Right.
Maybe that affects the Maxx Crosby situation.
Yeah, it could.
That's how they keep Max happy.
There you
Get
go.
Jim Schwartz.
There you go. Dianna Russini from The Athletic with us. Raider Nation Radio 920. Thanks so much.
All right, thank you.